Where are you living now, by the way? You used to live
I'm
in
living in
Astoria.
Crown Heights.
You liking it?
Yeah. Well, no, I hate it. It's a shithole. But I'm moving back to Astoria.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why?
Why am I moving back? Why
Yeah.
is it a shithole?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I assume they're related.
You have roommates?
right?
You live by yourself?
I live with 2 roommates. Yeah. It's a whole weird situation. Well, this could be one of the scams. I left my place in Astoria. My other comics moved like after the pandemic or during it, and then I had to like kind of leave because the lease was up.
Yeah.
And then I had a buddy. There were 3 comics living in this place, and one of them had left. I was looking for a subletter, but also everyone in the apartment building was suing the landlord because they didn't have some certificate of occupancy or some shit.
Yeah.
So no one was paying rent.
So were you paying rent?
No, I haven't paid rent for like a year, but like
That's amazing.
it was great.
That's
I saved
great.
up a lot of money, but at a certain point, you're like, okay. I mean, this shit can go on for years.
Yeah.
And I'm 37. I'm technically subletting from a squatter. I'm not even the one squatting.
That's
I'm
hilarious.
I'm not even the guy on the lease not paying. So
Right.
you know,
wait,
I'm a
so
loser.
You're not paying.
but-
You're not paying a subletter who's not paying the landlord.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Why don't you just cut out the middleman and just not,
Not
pay?
pay.
Yeah.
why
You're
not
like, hey,
pay?
can we get on the lease that we're not
Yeah.
paying?
Yeah.
Can we update the lease?
I know.
I
yeah.
know. Yeah, I know.
But-
well, at one point, like
wait.
a couple other comics lived in the building, and they all left.
Yeah. Why? Why would you leave free rent in New
They
York City?
they never signed. They were the only ones not suing, so they
Right.
actually were paying rent.
Yeah.
And they left with Jordan, Jensen, Michael Rowland, and Ethan
Yeah.
Patterson. But when they left, I was like, they had a much nicer place. I was
Yeah.
like, man, I'd love to live there. But then I was like, well, I guess I could just live there. I'm squatting in this other place.
Yeah.
But I was like, yeah, whatever. But yeah, I mean, I saved up rent for a while, but at a certain point, because you have to like, it's a shitty part of town.
Yeah.
It's like a food desert.
Yeah.
There's nothing around.
Yeah.
It's like, there's no kids around. It feels like I'm in Children of Men. And it's just like depressing. And then my buddy, Joe List, he had a place open up above him.
Yeah.
And he recommended me. It's like the cellar. You got to get like 2 Rex and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm
TV
moving in
credit.
there.
Did you have to
They're like,
audition?
have you been on TV? Late night?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm moving there. So yeah.
Oh, but wait, I don't understand. You could have continued not paying rent.
Yeah.
But you were just
I'm
like
37, Santiago.
Is this an ego thing where you want to? Oh,
It's
wait. Is it more
definitely an
about?
ego
Is it
thing.
about living alone?
yeah. Well, living alone, which
So it's a better apartment.
which I've never done.
Yeah.
It's a nice place. But it's also like being an adult. You just got to pay rent at a certain
Do you
point.
like that? If I could not pay rent right now, I mean,
Well, how old are you?
Your room's free.
How old are you?
I'm 33, but I've also lived
Well,
alone, and I've
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, I'm like close to 40. I just can't be like,
yeah.
I don't know. I guess it is an ego thing.
Yeah,
no,
exactly. Like,
I'm saying
Well,
at
no,
certain-
it's a much nicer
at
place,
At a certain
too.
point, there's like an adult checklist, and
Yeah.
after a certain age, it just starts to wear on you.
I'm not being condescending.
Yeah.
I
If you're
mean,
not-
if
yeah.
I was 33, I also would be like
yeah.
fucking staying there. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? But at a certain point, it's like,
Let me put it this way: a 40-year-old man being like, "I'm living in this squat. It's free. I don't pay anything." That's a bad look. You're not going home with that
opening
guy.
sentence of a very sad short story.
Yeah.
No way. I don't understand. I feel like people are hung up on this. I just saw Drew Michaels' hour, his new hour, and he talks about similar things where he's like, I'm 30, I think 6 or 37, because I'm single. I'm not sad, but sad is next, right?
Yeah.
Sad is the next stop on this train. And I don't know, this idea of like you have to have relationships or certain apartment living situations as some sort of progress. I really don't buy into it. You
Well,
know?
it's not. Yeah, I wouldn't
It's not,
actually
hard,
move.
it's not hard. It's not like buying into it. It's just like I guess it is. Maybe
Yeah,
it's just pressure. You know, it's just
I
you
feel I
that
do
pressure.
not feel that pressure. Is my
Well,
point.
here's the thing. I've also never lived alone.
Yeah.
So I'm like curious to see how that feels.
Yeah. Oh, that feels great.
But once you live alone, it's like I have to get like possessions. You start realizing you have nothing.
Yeah. You have to buy. Yeah, you've had a mattress or whatever,
Yeah, it's
or
just
you've
been circulating.
Yeah,
You know. So now I actually have to like get possessions.
it's a nightmare, dude.
Oh yeah.
I used
Do
to
you
live
have a
alone.
couch? Do you have a couch?
I got nothing.
No.
No, but that's the whole thing. It's like
You got a table, no chairs
I have a desk, and I have a
that I
chair.
sleep in.
Yeah.
you get way more tied down. Moving becomes way harder and a bigger decision, right?
Yeah.
Every time because we lived in Berlin before we moved here separately. It sounds like we're a couple, right? Yeah. We used to have a
Not
cat in Berlin.
judging.
And then when I had left Berlin, it was like, wow, I have this apartment and I have all my shit and I don't know if I'm going to want to go back. So then I sublet it and then I was responsible for this, you know, and or it's like, are you going to sell all this tons of stuff or, you know,
Well, it's
give it away for free or what?
it's kind of like there is no right answer. There's just
It's just what you want.
But it's also what you've already had and what you want to get. Like
Yeah.
we all lean towards one extreme,
Yeah.
and then it's like, oh, some people need a little more of the other side in their life, and some
Yeah.
people need less. So
Yeah.
like, like in Fight Club, the big issue is like, I've got all these things.
Yeah.
I'm the opposite. I need to be more like Fight Club in the beginning. I need to start getting possessions.
Yeah, you watch Fight Club and he's like, I got this IKEA couch, and you're like, that sounds great.
I mean, I've been too far. I
just
literally
watch it in
Benjamin
reverse.
Button Fight Club.
I've lived like most of my life like Edward Norton at the end.
Yeah.
I have no possessions.
Yeah.
I have no materialism, and there is no right answer. There's just
The beginning of the movie is you blowing up a city, and
Yeah.
you're like, man, I should just find a way to get some IKEA
Yeah,
furniture.
I know.
I gotta find a way to stop fighting.
Yeah, exactly. I gotta get out of the Fight Club.
Yeah.
Because I'm like fucking I'm like I've never had possessions.
Yeah, so you just feel like you've been like living a drifter lifestyle your whole life.
Of course, I have the life of a serial killer,
Yeah,
and I kill women.
Yeah.
So it's like it's really close.
it's really sexist.
It's
up
mostly
That's the real problem for me here.
I'm trying to be inclusive.
Yeah.
You go to court.
Yeah.
You
You're
think
like,
serial killers are like
Yeah.
shit? The way too many white men have killed. I gotta throw in some women and diversity.
Or they kill trans women to show that how open-minded they are. They're
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
look,
yeah.
what can I say?
That's funny because a lot of serial killers did kill trans women over
Yeah,
there, but
so
it
they're
was
way woker.
well, it's because they knew that no one
Yeah,
cared.
yeah.
Like the cops
They
didn't
could
care.
get away with it.
But now it's kind of like maybe a little more like you. It'd be funny if people were mad like someone killed trans women. They're like, you just did it because you knew you could get away. It's like, no, I wanted to include them.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
I'm
But
an
It's
inclusive
like,
murderer.
I'm bringing light to this issue.
Dahmer,
Yeah.
Dahmer was actually very inclusive because they have that whole thing where the serial killers
Well, he's gay, though,
only
right?
kill. Yeah, well, he was gay, but only kill people of
women
their own
or-
race or
yeah.
whatever. But he killed like a lot of black people, Asian people. He
Yeah.
actually was. I mean, it's offensive to say,
The
but
Rainbow Killer is
Yeah,
what they
yeah.
call him.
it's offensive to say, but he was the Martin Luther King Jr. of serial killers,
Right,
and
yeah.
he was really, really inclusive.
He had a
Yeah.
dream. He had a nightmare.
Yeah, he ate every kind of
Yeah.
type of restaurant.
Every cuisine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good for him.
Yeah.
I wonder if he did it just because he wanted to know what they tasted like.
Why he ate people?
Yeah.
I'm sure that's why.
No. I mean, like, but
Oh.
he kept it diverse.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Just to I think he
Yeah.
was probably
He
like,
was just a very dedicated scientist looking for empirical data. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all he was.
He
And
did
yet-
have skulls in his fridge. That I think he was trying to
you know what?
electrocute to make some bullshit, trying to create zombies or something.
Oh, that's cool. But then he
Wow,
did the
he's crazy
skulls.
then.
He actually just took the people's skulls to disprove phrenology. Right? He was like,
Oh.
look, all the races have the same skull.
Yeah.
Woke
That
serial
would've been
killer.
good, Yeah.
Yeah. All right, cool. So so you got you got some scam stories?
You said he had a couple scams.
Yeah. Well, number one, you asked me to do this podcast, and then you said it was in real life after I agreed. That's the first scam.
Was that? Whoa! Did you not know that?
No, I'm joking. But
Okay.
that is that'll include that as a scam.
Are you supposed to tell people it's in person versus it's video? Do most people do video?
before they agree to it? Maybe.
Is that the assumption that people think they're just gonna be on their computer talking?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, really?
I think so for me, but maybe yeah. No, I'm totally just fucking with you.
Podcast over.
But
Yeah.
but it's
Shut it down.
But it is funny to bring that up
Yeah.
as the first.
It'd be
scam.
funny if you just disappeared. You were like a
'Cause you're-
hologram.
Because you were like, hey, you want to do my podcast? Like, sure.
Oh, but all our clips are people talking to us here.
Oh yeah, I've not watched.
Yeah, I
your
figured.
podcast.
So you were so shocked by the wallpaper.
Oh,
You're like,
so wait.
whoa, you guys
so
got
wait,
wallpaper.
When I messaged you today, here's the address. You were like, "Fuck, it's in person."
No, because in reality, I asked you which one, and then you said in person.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, you asked.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there you go.
I was just making a joke. I feel like this got awkward.
No, it's fine. But so in the future, should I say, would you like to do my in-person podcast?
Well, you might get a lot of no's.
Right. Yeah.
You might have to scam to get the
Yeah.
people out.
Right. Yeah. What we do is usually we find the person and we take one of their loved ones and we tie them up over there
Yeah.
in that cage that we have over there covered
Yeah.
in blood.
It's okay, man. I think I think Zoom is nice, but I really think I looked at my phone said I went down 1,000 steps in the last year,
Yeah.
a day, and that's a lot.
You went down
1,000 steps.
from what?
I don't know, my average amount of steps was
1,000.
1,000 less.
But
I can't remember
in the
what-
last year. So over 2021.
You only walk to the bathroom now.
Like my
You're
average
walking
amount,
less.
Yes.
Yeah.
So because of Zoom and all that shit. So I think it's good that we should go back to meeting in person.
That's not good news when you're podcasting for exercise. That's not a good sign.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
1,000 steps was for the whole year.
Well, in general, just go
Yeah.
places. Oh well, so I have a scam. I ripped someone off once, and then
That's great.
I have my friends did an airport scam. I'll
Yeah.
talk about the airport scam first. 'Cause
Sure.
This is actually just a great scam.
Yeah.
I won't say any names. This was a long time ago.
Yeah.
But
Osama bin Laden.
Yeah.
We got a hilarious scam.
It does actually involve an Arab.
It's kind of a double scam if you think about it.
Yeah,
exactly.
it was an Arab actually involved committing illegal activity in the airport. He took a real risk.
It's really ballsy.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really brave now.
Yeah,
if you think
I
about
know it was. So
all you need is a box cutter. It's so easy. Such a scam.
So I had a friend, let's call her Alice.
All right.
And she was like a hot blonde hair girl. So
Nice.
she kind of get away with like doing whatever,
Yeah.
And then she had the idea actually that she was like she saw her other friend, let's call him Allah Akbar, right?
Okay, all right.
Allah Akbar.
Which one's Arab?
I
I feel like was it Alice because it
can't
starts with
remember.
Al.
I
that
can't
means
remember,
like
yeah.
Allah, right?
Alice Akbar. Yeah.
Allah.
So Allah Akbar was well no, let's not call him that. Let's call him Muhammad.
Muhammad,
That's it.
great. Yeah.
It'll be hard
Common.
to find it.
Yeah.
It'll be hard to track him down.
Yeah, you call him Muhammad Islam.
Yeah, Muhammad. So Muhammad Atta
Yeah.
was no, Muhammad was so Alice said to Muhammad, she saw he was flying back to our hometown Louisville, and she goes, all right, I'm gonna pick you up, but here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna pick you up. I'm gonna go in the airport early. Just take your suitcase off the conveyor belt and bring it to the car, and then you can come out. I'll do that as the plane lands.
Yeah.
Or like as you're waiting. And then you can come out and be like, oh, my suitcase is gone.
Yeah.
File a report of all the things missing. And he did that.
Get insurance.
And they got $2,000.
Wow.
That's awesome.
So that's insurance fraud. But
yes.
What?
This was years ago. I didn't say the real names. I think that's okay, right?
Yeah,
fine.
it's fine. Yeah. This is a Sting podcast.
I guess, I guess it is insurance fraud.
Yeah,
but insurance fraud sounds really bad when you say it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
most things sound bad when you describe them as the
legal
legal crime.
Yeah.
Assault and battery. I mean, I just fucking,
jaywalking doesn't sound so bad.
Manslaughter. Jesus Christ, guys! I drove drunk. What's the big deal?
Yeah, exactly.
That's true.
Manslaughter sounds really bad.
Well, it seems like when you slaughter, it seems like you're taking a machete.
Yeah.
Cutting. Slaughter doesn't seem like you could do like, indirectly. That seems like you are. Because it's like you slaughter animals.
Yeah, exactly.
That's like it should only be called slaughter if you have
like it's
a lot
process. It's like a whole thing.
It should only be called slaughter if you have a lot of blood on you.
Right.
It's probably an old definition of slaughter. Then you know.
Yeah.
But
when
my question,
you accidentally
my question is that I know most
with the machete.
Yeah.
Well, I was drunk. What do you want me to do? He was right there. He was in the way.
It was an MUI,
I'm
machete under the influence.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
it happens. I thought it was weeds.
So my question about the airport is that normally there's security between you and where you pick up your bags.
No.
So not at this airport.
No. That's
so what's to keep someone from just walking in an airport and just stealing bags?
yeah.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
So that's the bigger kind of thing. Is
well,
that
I mean, they have everything on camera. I think it's just it's you found a thing where probably for a single claim they don't care and they'll just take the hit, right? Did you have insurance on it though? I think like you have to have like a decent flight for them to actually reimburse your bag missing. Right?
This was years ago, but he basically listed a bunch of stuff that they did cover.
Yeah.
Like it was like Gucci.
He was just like, yeah, extra large dildo, lube, and they're like, we really don't want to fucking get involved with this guy.
No, just gonna be like my Fabergé.
Puppet of my mother.
That is a good point. I guess you could just go to the airport and just take a suitcase.
Yeah.
But there is a camera.
Now there's all cameras, and it's also like everything has been scanned at every single checkpoint.
And like back then, like when I did, I mean, there's probably one camera, but now it's like 3D.
Right.
You can see if you're circumcised or not.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
Can see, like, your birthmarks.
They can actually see that in those X-ray machines. They can see fucking
you're
extreme
circumcised?
details.
Yeah.
They
but
can
the
see
X-ray is just the bones.
what?
The X-ray is just the bones.
It's not X-ray though. It's like imaging.
Oh, do they basically just see your dick?
They see your entire body as if you were naked.
What was the point?
Yeah.
What was the point if it was just the bones?
Yeah.
You're
like, all right, this guy's got bones. get on the
I
flight.
mean, if you
doing
put a
with those
grenade
bones?
in your bone, you're really
you earned it.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah, no. They see the whole naked. They see the whole naked thing.
But it was called an X-ray. I guess that's a good point. But wasn't it? Was it always that? No.
No. Okay, so you had metal detectors.
Yeah.
I don't think you ever had. Oh,
after 9/11, it was the naked imaging.
Where you put your
Before
bags.
that,
that's
it was
an
metal
X-ray.
detectors.
So it was never just an X-ray of your ribs.
It wasn't for people. I think
Yeah.
the X-ray was for laptops, and that's why you have to lay it flat because it stands on top of each other and shit like that.
That makes a lot more
So
sense.
luggage, yeah. Also, because X-ray is like radiation. Have you ever done that? You go in for an X-ray, and then they put something like at the dentist.
Like,
they put something
you
in
have
your
cancer
mouth.
now.
Yeah, they put
we did this.
thing in your mouth, and then she's like, "All right, we're going to start the X-ray," and then they go stand behind like a lead door with a lead vest on, and you're like, "Why the fuck am I out here?"
It's like,
"Goosh."
It's like, good news, Mr. Angel, you are cancer free. Hold on a second. Bloop, 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 bloop. Okay, now you're good. Yeah,
yeah,
it's just the cancer giver. Yeah,
right.
I feel like I just did that bit.
Yeah.
But
He said you have cancer now.
well, okay.
It's all right.
Should I leave?
Yeah.
What if there was just a trap door? Boom.
Yeah.
Bit repeated.
It's all right. No, it's okay. I should have called it out.
No, it's good. I think it's good. I think we got to keep Dan in check.
I was.
Well, here's the thing. You could do the bit again, but it has to be a shorter version. It has to be tighter.
Really? You think so?
You did it longer.
Yeah. I think it's okay to do it again as long as it's a little bit shorter.
But I was just thinking. I was just thinking, what if you got cancer when
When what?
Like when you go in there and then they do the X-ray and then that's what gives you cancer.
That's
what I was thinking
that's
of.
Really
That's pretty good,
that's
right?
Really funny. That's great. You should be more like that guy. He's really funny. Clearly, I know the funny one in there. Yeah. What's his podcast called? Santiago and Wallpaper?
Santiago is great.
What the fuck, dude? This is my fucking house. I built this place.
I know, right? He did build this house. That is true.
But so that was the scam, and they got away, and it was a victimless crime. Besides, whoever the victims were.
Well, the victim is the corporation or the insurance company that has to pay out the money, so it's essentially victimless.
Yeah, and whatever suitcase guys.
Nobody feels it. That's the point. Nobody feels
whatever old Dominican guy who moves suitcases there. Got fired.
Right, got fired, and his children starved. Right.
His children starved to death.
I swear to God, this white woman came in. Sure, he did, Hector. You're out of here.
Right. That was shorter.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is my house.
Wait, did you feel that was the same joke?
No, I don't.
That's an act out. That's
an
different
act
than.
out. You're right.
That's
an act out.
That's different than repeating.
I'm
the
a
premise.
really bad improv player. I'm like, that's my joke. I did that. You can't run with it.
Yeah.
Most selfish improv guy.
I did that. No one touched it. No one run with it.
Yeah, right.
Selfish improv. I was also going to say that.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So that's scam. All right. So the other one is me.
Did you ever do improv? No.
Did she ever do it again? Was it a one-time thing?
One-time thing.
And how come was a one-time thing? So
you'll get caught if you keep filing insurance claims of your baggage going missing.
Because if you just do a crime once, you'll get away with it.
Yeah.
You can do most crimes just once.
Yeah.
And get away. You could murder a random person and 100% get away with it.
Most murders go unsolved.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like a vast majority. Most crimes in general get unsolved.
But most murders are also it's like the police don't deem the person worthy of investigating. Like if it's a prostitute, they're gonna be like
the president.
Okay.
Did you guys not hear about that?
Yeah.
Kennedy. I was drunk.
But
I was aiming for Jackie O. Fuck.
Classic manslaughter.
Yeah, fucking bitch. Oh shit.
Oh damn, that's a big mistake.
That would have been really funny if you're like, no, I was aiming for that lieutenant governor in the back seat. I really hate that guy. President.
We went to high school together. That guy was a fucking dick.
I love Kennedy. I really,
I love his hair. My girlfriend, man. I'm trying to get back
this
at
had
him.
nothing to do with Now that I think about it,
Santi.
I guess I probably should have shot him with the president in the car, but fuck, I was just trying to get that secret agent I hate, that Secret Service guy.
Exactly.
Protecting the president, now's my chance.
Fred gave me through my head of the toilet.
That's actually great. If you want to murder a Secret Service guy, just shoot at the president. He's supposed to jump in front. And you're like, fucking, got you, bitch.
I was aiming for you the whole time.
Yeah.
That's a good riff.
That's a good bit, yeah.
Good bits, yeah. We're finally really getting some momentum.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm in a sauna, by the way.
In a sauna?
It's very hot in here.
I've told, it's hot. I'm sorry.
I could buy some fans, but we'd be hearing fans in the background.
You can buy silent fans. They make silent fans.
I don't have silent fan money.
Yeah, I think you all have probably silent fans. You probably don't get a lot of comments and stuff.
Oh, that's good.
Is that a pun?
Yeah. Raanan, what if we were as
That's
mean
so
as
bad.
You?
That's so
How would
bad.
that feel?
I said you had fans.
Yeah, that's so bad.
Actually,
it's not worth
insult.
me repeating.
Yeah. Oh shit! You didn't steal it from me. God, fuck.
That's a Raanan original.
Like, you can have that.
Signed, sealed, and delivered.
But it's really hot. I just had to vocalize that.
Yeah. It's okay.
I'm trying to be present.
No, you're
you have a very bad guru.
Yeah. You have a.
They're like, try to be present. Complain about everything. Like, I just try to be honest in the moment. I don't like it.
Yeah. You also have a complaint about the temperature in the room vibe to you.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's actually extremely anti-Semitic.
You just call me Jewish.
Yeah. He's also Jewish. I don't know if you knew that.
You can tell. Yeah. Our noses are about to touch. Like
yeah.
Do you notice as I get older, my nose?
That's how they get married. The Jews.
I'm getting.
Light up.
As I get older, I'm becoming more like propaganda.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I never had a big
I'm such a fucking character.
Noses get bigger.
Yeah, ears get bigger.
Yeah.
Dicks get more circumcised. It's just the circle of life.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. My foreskin keeps disappearing and disappearing. My dick is eventually just going to be all cut.
It sucks. You become more of like a Jewish stereotype.
Yeah. I don't think maybe that's just because Jews, they're a very old culture.
Yeah.
Right? And so
where are you going with this?
They adopt the culture of being old because they've been around so long.
Yeah.
It's all just kind of like all Jewish attributes are just,
old shit. It's a lot of complaining, and as you get older, you complain more.
Yeah, whereas like Latinos die constantly, so that they're very youthful. Like they act almost like an entire culture based on youth and adolescence because you're gonna die soon.
Yeah. Do you feel this as a Jew as you get older? You are becoming more comfortable with you're like I'm finally my age is fitting my attitude now that I'm getting older.
Yes, I mean I am an old man at heart, so every day I get older, it fits a little bit more.
I'm now at the age where I'm like, let's just go to a diner tonight, and the people around me are like, good idea.
That's the only place I ever want to go.
Yeah,
you go
but
to diners?
But I've been doing that since I was 17. Everyone's like, no, let's party. I was like, no, let's go to a diner.
I was trying to. I tried to have a bit about this for a while. It was basically kind of similar to that. It was I would say. I used to be an old soul, but the problem with old souls, eventually you just become old. Like the word soul drops off.
Yeah.
You know? And it's kind of like, you're like, oh, you're 18, you're not going to bars?
Yeah.
What an old soul. It's like, oh, you're 37, you're not going to bars? Good, stay away, you fucking weirdo.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, but you've had more time practice. That's what I'm saying. Like you've been practicing to be old your whole life. You know.
Thank you for being present.
Yeah.
That joke always bombed.
Yeah, it never worked. But apparently he heard it and he brought it up tonight.
You've been practicing your whole life being old. Is what you were saying.
Yeah. For sure.
Do you think at 37 you shouldn't be going to bars? I feel like you have this weird conception of what people should do at certain ages.
I'm sober. I don't like going to bars.
I'm also sober.
Well, I don't like loud sounds or drunk. I don't know. I hate bars.
Yeah. Oh, I dislike bars because alcohol. What it does is it makes very boring people think they're very interesting.
Yeah, and they're like obnoxious in your face.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of like, Well, when I quit drinking, like I thought it'd be harder, but the thing is,
when did you quit?
Like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
The thing about quitting is like when you quit, drunk people seem so annoying to you.
Oh yeah.
That it reinforces your sobriety, and at a certain point you realize. At first you feel so out of place being sober, but then you realize like, okay, there's really drunk people, which are the worst.
Yeah.
And then there's people that have maybe 2 drinks and you don't even know. And those people are way closer to you who don't drink.
For sure.
But if you have those 2 drinks, you might become the other guy.
Right.
So you're basically in the crew of the people you want to be with.
That's what I was telling a friend who's asking me. I quit drinking like 6.5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So that's longer. And
in AA, it's just like
you lose.
It's about pettiness.
And on the right corner of AA, we have someone doing it 8 years.
And my knees are numb.
He wins.
Right.
I've been sober for 22 years. Not to brag.
Yeah.
Not to brag.
You fight with whoever has the bigger coin.
Yeah.
Just throws it at them.
Exactly. But I'm not into teetotalers. I'm not into people who never drank.
Oh, psychopaths?
Yeah.
Who are afraid to give away secrets?
Yeah. Exactly. Like they're afraid they're gonna get loose, and then their actual person is gonna come out.
No, those are all serial killers.
But
because they're afraid to give up control.
Right.
Because alcohol's a truth serum, so it's like
you're
like, I don't want to ever take this truth serum.
No, there are only 2 groups of people that are acceptable to hang out with: people who drink and people who had to stop drinking.
Right.
Teetotalers or anyone who's never drank
or never did drugs. They're out of their mind and they've never experienced anything.
It's they're all a shot and a half away from just admitting they fuck kids.
Yeah, right. Right, exactly. And that's the thing.
Oh, just this one time. Why not? I fucked and killed everyone.
Right.
I've been slowly poisoning my wife.
Dahmer didn't drink. He had things to do. He was a busy man. I have no idea if he did.
That's actually not true. He's a serious alcoholic.
Oh, really?
Yeah, actually, it was a big problem.
Well,
it apparently created a lot of... it made him do a lot of some bad decisions. I don't know if you know.
How fucking funny would it if they were like, so we found a bunch of skulls and you've been eating people? He'd be like, all right, I've got a drinking problem. Yeah. All right, I don't know what to tell. Like, he tries to Kevin Spacey it. He's like, listen, guys.
His rock bottom at AA would make everyone be like, oh, I didn't even know I had a rock bottom. Like everyone else is just like, I drank and lost my wife and had an affair, and then it goes to him. I ate 14 gay people. And they're like, whoa.
And he's like, and that's why I'm never touching margaritas again.
Margarita? It wasn't even hard.
He's like, that's why I can't have strawberry daiquiris.
That's why never again will I have a Michelob Ultralight.
No more Cosmos for me.
Just wake up in a dead of corpses, like a bed of corpses. You're like, oh, I got to stop Zimas.
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, because he's also gay, right? So he can get away with, like, that's why I no longer have fuzzy nipples.
Well, he could have pulled the Kevin Spacey. Yeah. It's time for me to come out as gay. Like as a distraction.
Oh, that would be so funny in court also, right? Yeah. When they're like, so what's your excuse? And he's like, I just always had trouble with my identity.
I'm gay. We're like, it's the 70s, so that's also a crime.
Yeah.
So,
but
everyone's like, ew. You just leave the courthouse.
Yeah.
One time in an interview, he said, I ate a guy's liver once and it gave me an erection.
Yeah.
And the interviewer was like, TMI.
Yeah.
This stenographer is like, God damn it.
Yeah.
But so, I mean, what I was going to say about alcoholism, but so something was interesting. I don't know if I can articulate this, but you were saying, I'm going to try. The only people you trust are people. So if alcohol is a truth serum, right?
Yeah.
The only people you trust are people who are at some point willing to take it. But at the same time, if you're an alcoholic or an addict, it means like, you got addicted almost to that feeling of just constantly telling the truth to the point that it became a problem, right? So of completely feeling uninhibited and just always fucking tossing it out there.
There's also an ego thing
like,
that you're not.
It's almost like there's almost, if drinking is linear progression, the more drunk you get, the more true you're speaking. There's a certain threshold where you're like, you're being too true, and we need you to be like 1 or 2 drinks true,
well, like
and 4 drinks true is too much truth.
Yeah, it's
unbearable.
Everyone needs to correct in one way or the other. Some people need a little alcohol.
Right.
Some people need a little, it's just where you are at. But yeah, there's no bad thing.
Right.
There's only like, I mean, I guess heroin. Like no one needs. Like,
heroin's fine.
No one needs a little heroin.
I think there's way worse drugs than heroin.
Do you?
Oh, for sure. I think meth is way worse for you as a person.
I feel like these days it's probably more likely to have fentanyl and heroin than meth.
Oh, but that's different. That means the issue is fentanyl. It's not the issue with the drug.
Well, yeah, but you're
like, hey, these eggs are terrible. There's fentanyl in them. Yeah. Like, you be careful with eggs.
Well,
they're poisoned.
I mean, yeah, but heroin needs a recall. They need to recall heroin.
Can you imagine El Chapo like releases a statement? He's like, "I'm recalling all the heroin. Everyone's gonna get refunded."
I haven't done drugs.
I'm so bad.
I haven't done
I love these.
Exactly.
I love these.
There's like class action lawsuits for your heroin dealer. They're like, "Did you sniff fentanyl and die? You may be entitled to $12."
I hate these woke bitches who like during people dying of fentanyl, they have to post online. Drugs are really dangerous right now. If you're gonna do drugs, get these testing strips.
I think that's great.
No,
a lot of people don't know. It's performative in the same way all online posting is performative.
I didn't know.
As soon as you get to the internet, you're in the fucking toilet of people trying to show you who they are constantly.
I have to admit this was I'm in the loop. I didn't know that there was fentanyl in cocaine and drugs till I started seeing those Instagram posts.
Till his roommate died.
Yeah, till my roommate died.
Yeah, apartment for rent.
Yeah,
those posts.
I guess testing strip, but like there's just like a. I don't know. I guess maybe you're right. There's like this old part of me that's just like, just don't fucking do street drugs for a while.
You're just saying like, just let him die. You're like,
just
hey,
just
don't. People were supposed to
don't
die.
do street drugs for a while.
I don't know, man. No, because listen.
But people have habits.
Yeah,
drug habits.
Like,
you can't.
All right, I take it all back.
We're also older.
I'm taking it all back. You can't argue.
Hey,
heroin. Take it all back.
No,
I completely agree with you all.
Heroin addicts, follow my advice. Just don't do it for a while.
Yeah,
it's like that's not going to work.
They
so
get
you say buy this strip. Yeah,
you know their music sucks.
Except they're not tweeting. They're tweeting to like young white girls.
No, they're showing all their friends that they're on the right side. It's like making your profile picture black. Yeah, I get it. Right during BLM.
Yeah. I made my whole profile blackface.
So you're also
it didn't work the way I wanted.
Like,
they
didn't
get
Jimmy Fallon fan.
It'd be funny if you had it be a black square and then it zoomed out. It's just your blackface. It was a black square, but it was just a forehead of you in blackface. Am I doing this right?
Sorry, guys. I don't know how to crop. I'm a bad cropper.
Or you're like, it's time for black people to be heard. We've had enough. We've heard enough from people with white white skin. So it's just you in blackface being like, "What's up with my bitch wife?" You do a Bernie Mac voice.
I like going to diners.
But just to, all right, you are correct. Obviously, they should have testing strips.
Yeah.
But everyone knows what they're doing with these tweets.
Well, no,
they're like, I am not shaming anyone.
It's half and half. It's half.
At a certain point, certain information is so important that it just needs to be ubiquitous and everywhere.
Yeah. All right.
So if
I'm wrong.
If dummies are just putting it out there and I happen to see it, then that's good.
Yeah, but people sharing the bigger problem is people sharing infographics on Instagram like it's a place to get information.
Right.
Where it is obviously a place where you can learn. Like I learned about a lot of news items from just opening Instagram, and people were like, "Rest in peace, Norm," and you're like, "Fuck, all right, I guess that." You know, but yeah, there is a performative aspect to it of I want to show people that I care about people and I'm on the right side of this issue.
No, it's like I'm not shaming people for doing drugs.
Yeah.
I guess my issue is like, can't you just say
no, but
hold off on street drugs for a while?
But a lot of these people just do drugs. I used to do a lot of drugs. And that's the other thing that I'm saying is like we're in our 30s and sober, right? Right. Like
I guess
when you're 22, imagine if, like, I don't know if you ever had a fucking real drug issue or habit.
I have.
But it's like, I wasn't going to stop. I would just find a guy that
even
was
with
reliable.
The fentanyl situation?
I know a guy.
I think the fentanyl makes it different.
I have a friend who's a drug dealer. They have testing strips when they sell you cocaine. They'll test it in front of you, and they'll give you Narcan in case it's fucking, for whatever reason, the test was a false negative.
No, I think you should just stop doing the drugs. I really do think that. I was in my 20s. Cocaine was
at
not
this point, it's too risky.
You're like Nancy. You're like Nancy Reagan over here. Just say no. It doesn't work that way.
Well, when there's fentanyl killing people randomly, cocaine, if I did cocaine, but if there was like fucking fentanyl and cocaine
there's a 10% chance you'll die. All
no,
of a sudden, it's not that good.
Just don't fucking do it. No, I take it I succumb to peer pressure. I'm taking it all back. These people are idiots. There is fentanyl in your street drugs. Even with testing strips, you could easily die.
Street drugs? I mean, you mean non-pharmaceutical? Like,
just do pharmaceutical drugs. I'm not saying don't do drugs. Just fucking do pharmaceutical drugs.
Right. Take Oxy.
And honestly, I think the people posting that shit, encouraging people to continue to do street drugs, I think that's hypocritical and shitty.
So the issue for you is that they're saying you can still do drugs, but be careful. You want them to say, hey, cut it out. This shit is
You ever see the videos of people making fentanyl in Mexico? It's like it's a dude in the desert with a giant pot of tar and he's steering it with a stick. Yeah. And he's like, you gotta watch which way the wind is blowing. Yeah. Because if the wind blows in your direction, your face, you'll pass out immediately, and you'll pass out in a pot of boiling fentanyl, and then you're just completely dead.
Yeah, and I think the people posting this aren't doing street drugs. Yeah. So they think it's way too dangerous. Yeah. But then they're being like, I don't want to shame anyone because I'm woke. Yeah. So I just want to let you all know. Yeah. Do the drugs. Still do the drugs. Just pretend you're making this seem safer. No, fentanyl should just fucking make you not do anything.
Do they find it? Is it in weed?
No. No. Oh, okay. Actually, I've heard that it can be.
Yeah. It sucks to OD on fucking weed.
I'd be so pissed.
So embarrassing.
I know. Well, it's just not that great of a drug.
Yeah. No, weed fucking sucks.
Yeah, no, just find me passed down face first, like in a pizza.
Die of fentanyl from CBD. It's not even the fucking.
Rick and Morty is playing on the TV. I'm just dead.
There's in my heart. There's something that really bugs me when people tweet that.
Sure.
And I think there's a nihilism in the culture that's like being like.
No, you're saying that the idea of stopping is not even a question. It's just like, well, of course you can't stop doing drugs. Life is horrible, and we're all drug addicts just to get through it. So just try and be safe while you play with fire. That's what you're saying.
I'm saying that's like a weird. Yeah, I'm saying like
it's an acceptance of the
yeah, I'm saying don't. I'm saying if there's fentanyl in street drugs, basically everyone needs to stop doing street drugs.
But here's the sure, okay, all
right. And I think we should. I get that. You know, I would be okay with like just take some fucking Percocets. You know what I mean?
It's not the same.
I know.
There's nothing as good. Pharmaceutical uppers as cocaine, right? Like you can get Adderall or Ritalin, but it's not the same fucking
Adderall's
effect.
Pretty good.
No, it's not. It's not. It does not compare to cocaine.
But cocaine is not worth dying over. And
for sure.
And most people do cocaine, do it recreationally. Yeah. So like, it's okay to tell those people. Yeah. Just stop it for a while.
Just chill for a little bit.
Yeah. But with heroin, at that point, you're already you're not getting tested strip for heroin.
But here's the bigger thing I want to bring up. Okay, I get that that's your stance, but it's also you're saying for a while. There's this assumption that the fentanyl is going to go away. Right? I don't understand why there's fentanyl in drugs in the first place. I don't understand who puts it there, right? If you're a drug dealer, like this almost sounds like a government, if you want to be fucking conspiracy theory, Like, I would assume that this is like a government conspiracy or something. Like, why the fuck would a drug dealer lace their drugs with something that kills their clients, effectively destroying their business?
Get you high too.
Yeah. No, I think it's basically acts like heroin.
And
unless you go over, like unless you fuck it
stronger.
up. Yeah. But unless you fuck it up and then it's deadly.
Yeah, it's a smaller window.
So it's incredibly, it's more profitable than heroin to sell stuff.
I get that, but now it's like overdoses are way up. Like, that's not really good for business. It brings negative attention to the drug trade and it kills your clientele.
Yeah,
and it makes people not want to buy it because they're afraid of the risk. So then why the fuck would any business person do that?
A whole lot more money still.
I don't think they're making more money.
And also, maybe they fucked up. Maybe they didn't. Maybe they're like, "Oh shit, we put too much in, and now we're."
Maybe they're not the most professional people.
Yeah, I know.
And
I said it's
oops, all fentanyl batch.
People,
they got the fucking cereal boxes.
I told you, it's people in the desert like mixing like buckets of tar over fire. I mean, it's not like the most professional businessmen like providing the fentanyl.
Yeah,
you know. Yeah. It's not like locally sourced.
No, it doesn't add up to me. Somebody at some point is in control. Like, there's large cartels, and it's not like a fucking dude in a village just making cocaine. It's not like small batch cocaine that you're buying in America. All of this is like a large, elaborate operation.
I don't know all the details
with a lot of control and a lot of money.
But there's definitely a very good explanation that does not involve the U.S. government doing it.
Oh, I strongly disagrry. I strongly disagree.
There's definitely information we could look up right now.
Yeah.
That would easily.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. No.
Yeah, but there's definitely like one click away.
It says there on Google that Santi is wrong.
Yeah, basically.
Wow.
Yeah,
it's just a picture of me in blackface. I'm like, fuck. I don't know. How did this come up? Yeah, it's just me in blackface rubbing cocaine. It's like, I like the fentanyl. Just rubbing it into my gums. I don't know. It takes the edge off.
But yeah, like.
That's the answer. It just takes the edge off. That's why. It's just a guy with a really strong tolerance who's like, I just prefer it.
But but there's always a reason. It's funny whenever someone brings up like conspiracy. Like, why the fuck would Nancy Pelosi, whatever you're about to say.
I like how you're acting out and it's me.
I'm doing the stupid voice too.
Yeah, you're doing the stupid voice. It's like, don't you hate when you meet really stupid people who are like, it's a conspiracy? It's like, that was me 2 minutes ago.
I thought you're so stupid you'd forget.
Oh, fuck, man. That's actually a conspiracy against me.
I was talking to this moron with the fucking man bun.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not like smart enough to know all the shit, but like know most things. But like, I do feel like whenever someone complains about a politician or anything, there's an explanation that you don't realize. That's probably hard to explain. Like there's an explanation outside that politician.
Nobody knows what's really going on.
No, I disagree. I think generally you can just boil things down to perverse incentives under capitalism, and just like all these people are soulless monsters. That's how I feel about every politician. Easily.
It's a little simple.
What's your theory?
I mean, I do think politicians do things to make sure they continue to be politicians, and that involves some compromises. But they also do that, some of them, in the hopes that they'll get other things passed. I think that's just a game. The game itself might be corrupt.
Do you think Nancy Pelosi gives a shit about people? No way. There's no way on earth that woman gives a shit about anybody but herself.
I don't know. I guess you can't technically say either way.
I mean, I just did.
I guess. Have you looked into her soul?
I don't know. Yeah, I did. There's a store in Williamsburg where you can look into Nancy Pelosi's soul.
I think people are so fed up with capitalism that they like think anyone involved in it ends up being like evil.
Sure, yeah.
But that's like a kind of simplistic way of thinking.
Sure, okay. Yeah, of course. I
get that. I get that the system, thinking of the system as like corrupt, but no, I don't think Pelosi is evil or doesn't care about people.
Oh,
I know that's a square thing to say.
I do. Yeah. But anyways, I don't know if we're gonna make any headway on this. On this disagreement.
Yeah.
I also think none of us want to be politicians,
right?
And then we fucking go just hate everybody. It's like we're not being it.
Yeah.
And they're doing all this complicated shit. It's like, to me, it's almost a little
I feel the same way about Epstein. It's like, I wasn't fucking piloting a plane, so who am I to speak?
Well,
honestly.
I'm just saying, we're not, I don't know.
You're not trying to do it, sure. So
I feel like Pelosi's done a lot of good things and a lot of bad things, and that's what it's like in politics.
I really liked when they knelt with the cloths.
That was bad.
Yeah, but it was bad out of touch, but it's also like, I mean, fucking Trump was like at the same time honoring Robert E. Lee. So,
I know, I mean,
gotta...
I think they have good intentions, but they're just so disconnected from normal people that they just miss the mark and are tone deaf for everything they do.
I think that's giving them way too much.
And it's just like, you're an idiot.
That's giving them way too much of a charitable reading. I think these are I don't know.
Lizard people, yeah. I get your nuanced argument. And
I think your nuanced argument is calling my argument non-nuanced, and that's as far as we've gotten.
That's pretty nuanced.
Yeah. Right?
No, I don't know. I mean, it's tough because obviously I think some politicians are like totally sociopathic.
Yeah, for sure.
But I don't think like.
I think the vast majority.
I think Pelosi's out of touch and wealthy. I don't think she's like sociopathic.
All right. Okay. I don't know if how much. This is not going to turn into like a like facts and debate type thing. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
This is meet the press.
In terms of like, I'm not set up for that. Like,
people are complicated. Like I always think of Rush Limbaugh as like an awful human being, and I still do.
Yeah.
But when he gave his like farewell like interview, it was interesting to watch because it was just as sentimental as like any normal person's. It was like, I really want to thank my family and all my fans.
Well, that's
it's interesting to see like
in favor of him. That's the whole idea of like.
No, it's not in favor of him, but it's interesting to see like even somebody you think is evil does have these like human emotions.
I didn't even know he gave a goodbye.
Yeah, it was like a big farewell. It was like the fans over the years have been incredible, and my wife has helped me through all this. And it was interesting to realize like even people who are awful, can still have like valid human emotions.
For
and
sure.
We forget that.
And like all these dictators and shit like that, they have girlfriends and wives and families and kids they love. You know?
Yeah, for sure. Well, Hitler didn't have much. I guess he had a girlfriend.
Eva Braun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a dog.
She's really bad at seeing red flags.
Really?
Well,
I think she saw a lot of them.
You know what? I'm
flag was red.
I disagree. I think she.
Yeah, dude, that guy was crushing it. That guy.
Yeah, I mean, you landed one of the most powerful people in the world. You don't know how it's gonna go after that.
She was not.
If Germany had won the war, you'd be singing a different tune right now.
Right.
Well, you wouldn't be here, but
that's true.
Yeah, you'd be singing a different tune. You'd be like, wow, I can't believe she nabbed the guy that did it.
When people get that much power, there's one of two ways that it goes, right?
Yeah.
It's either like it somehow works out, or very often they just end up killed, like most dictators or most, you know.
Yeah. You know what's interesting? I mean, I guess this is like obvious if you think about it, but I just never thought about it. I was listening to something where one of the people involved in dropping the bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki said, well, I hope we win the war, because if not, we're going to be charged with serious war crimes.
Oh, right.
And it's so funny to, like, it's so, not funny, terrifying to think back and go, oh, that was just not a war crime because we won.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, for sure. Yeah,
Like, if Japan won the war, that would have been basically seen as like
I'm kind of
9/11 times 100.
No, that would have been their Holocaust.
Yeah, it would have been their Holocaust.
And they were like, do you know what the Americans are doing? They made a fucking bioweapon.
Like the Americans would have had to apologize. Like Germany, they'd have to apologize every week.
It would have been like their Holocaust. It was their Holocaust. Now imagine having a Holocaust where
that
like, the narrative is like, guys, we got it. We had to do it.
And also, literally, a Holocaust. Like, in a way, more of a Holocaust because it was literally fire. Yeah. I mean, with the fire with the ovens.
Right.
This was more of what you imagine a Holocaust.
Right.
Yeah. So it's interesting to realize, it's just not a war crime
because America did it, because
won.
America won.
Yeah.
So it's only a war crime if you lose. I think that's a pretty good motivation to win.
Yes.
I think what you're saying. I think you're saying is winning is good and losing is bad.
Well, it would have been like if the Germans and Japanese won.
Yeah.
The Hiroshima, that would have been considered just like awful war crime.
And then
the Holocaust
Auschwitz would have been like, listen, it was a necessary measure that we had to take.
It was
the same way that we talk about like
Dresden.
Do you remember fucking being told as a child when they're like, well, we had to bomb Japan because I remember when they told me this. I was in elementary school, so it was maybe 4th grade, and I remember they said, well, the thing is, the Japanese, they were like war crazed and they weren't going to give up, so we really had to kind of show them that we were willing to kill a lot of them and that we were a mightier power so that their crazy emperor would bow down.
And it was like your war craze.
Yeah, it was like, so actually, and they would say like, so actually we did it to save more Japanese people in the long run. And it would have just been that with the fucking Holocaust, right?
You know, it's also scary to think like, people are like, will we end in nuclear war and stuff? There's no way that humans are going to have all these nuclear weapons, and at no point no one drops it. Like, there's no way.
You think so?
There's no way, like, we're just going to go on and, like, hey, crazy. No one ever dropped a bomb.
Yeah.
Like, that's just not going to happen.
Oh, I disagree. I think that that's a likely scenario.
What?
That just the nuclear, nobody fires any nuclear weapons.
Really? This is for all until the end of...
Well, we
for the next 5 years, to the end of civilization?
Are you saying that one day there's going to be an actual leader that's like hits the button, or there's going to be some amazing fluke of mistakes of events that
either way it's just like...
I think just climate change is such a much more looming disaster than nuclear holocaust now.
It'll beat
it'll beat it, and it's also like it's almost like a moot point whether we're going to like press a button to destroy each other. It's like we're already destroying each other just through consumption, right? That's going to become a much bigger issue. I think where you see things going is like we're going to have scarcity and riots and safe zones protected by militaries, and then you're either in or you're out, and then you're getting slaughtered outside of it. So then who has a nuke? I mean, it's like Pakistan will have its safe zone, and then a vast majority of impoverished people. And every country's going to have that. And the people who have the nukes are the people who are in power. So they really would only need to use it against other people in power. I don't see a scenario where nukes are the biggest issue.
Yeah. I mean, it's possible we are not the most expert to do these war games.
I am an expert, yeah. I didn't tell you I moonlight. I moonlight with the Pentagon.
Yeah,
I went to community college in war games.
Yeah,
so,
okay.
Yeah.
I did see that movie. I didn't see it.
I've heard of the movie. I never thought. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, you know.
Okay, but so
knows?
you had another scam.
Yeah.
You want to run us through yours?
Oh, yeah. So it's actually me kind of ripping off an actor.
That's great.
Kind of became famous.
Who is it?
I don't know if you know him, but his name's Chris Abbott.
Yeah.
He was. Did you ever? You know that show on Hulu, Catch 22, that came out a couple of years ago?
No, was that good?
I don't know. I didn't see it.
Catch 22 was a fun book.
Yeah, but it didn't seem like very relevant for a movie at the time.
Oh, really?
You know, like a movie. Like it came out like 2 years ago. It's like,
yeah.
Do we really need a movie about the absurdity of a war that we also had to go in? So it's like, this is kind of silly. But he's the main character in that.
Right.
He's also, you ever see Girls?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the original boyfriend of Allison Williams.
Okay.
I don't know. He's in a lot of things. He's in The Sinner. That show.
I love how you ripped off a guy with an IMDb page.
Yeah.
We get it. It's a very important man.
Well, he's kind of a famous actor, but you all.
Is this a credit of yours? Do you list this? This is how you get booked?
Yeah. Well, there was a loft. Yeah, there was a loft that he was living in, and I was gonna move in next.
Yeah.
This was before he started doing well.
In New York?
Yeah, years ago, like maybe 10.
Alone or with roommates?
It was like this old fucking weird guy who lived in the building, but kind of like created a wall, so it's like its own thing. But he went in to use the kitchen all the time.
Yeah.
And make like fake hippie bread.
So it sounded like you had a roommate, or
kind of, but he kind of lived across the hall.
Yeah, I know. I know what you're saying. These situations.
A shared kitchen situation.
Yeah.
So you have your own apartment, but this guy needs to be able to use the kitchen.
Yeah, and he has like this giant apartment.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like a hippie who makes no money, but it's
right.
like rent controlled.
Right.
It would have been like $42 million right now.
Right.
But like he just had it back when no one wanted to live in New York.
He got in early and then just did nothing with his life, and now he's like.
And it's like a hippie co-op. So he was moving out. And I was gonna move in the next month, and he's like, he's like moving out kind of early, and he's like, if you want to come in like a couple weeks early, you can just pay me, even though he was gone, And I didn't have the money at the time, and this was like 10 years ago. This story does not make me. I am not the hero of the story.
It's
a scam story. You're not supposed to be the hero.
I like wrote him a check for $300. I'm like, I don't have it yet, but can you cash it in 3 weeks? And he was like, man, I mean, I hate doing this. People have ripped me off this way, and I was like, trust me, I will not rip you off.
Yeah.
And then like,
when you said that?
Did you have the
intention to rip him off?
No.
You thought you were gonna have the money. You thought you were gonna have $300 in your bank account in 3 weeks.
Yes.
Yeah.
But what gets morally complicated is 3 weeks later, I did have the money.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, there you go.
No, but at that moment, you weren't lying.
Yeah, no, I wasn't lying at that moment.
Yeah.
I was deceiving myself, which is probably worse because it makes you able to do more fun,
Yeah.
But then I didn't know this guy, and he was already out of the apartment, and I didn't know him. So like I was at my work at the time. This was before I even started stand up.
Right.
This might have been 12 years ago. And
in New York?
Yeah, I was living here before I did stand up.
Why'd you live here?
I went to college in upstate New York, and I was writing screenplays with my buddy.
Okay, cool.
And I was talking to all my friends at work, and they're like, "Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
There's no morals, just rent. He's already out. Fuck him. Just tell him you're not going to pay."
Yeah.
And so
you had already signed on the lease.
Yeah, it had nothing to do with him. He was gone.
Oh.
It was not his. He just left, and I'm moving into the place next.
So you're subletting from this old guy.
Yeah. But he wanted me to pay him
prorate his old rent,
even though he wasn't there that time. Yeah.
Well, that's
kind of stupid. So it's either like,
yeah, he was already
he's gone. There's nobody living there.
Yeah, he was already being a little shitty.
Yeah, he was trying to take your money
exactly
because
so maybe this is not. Yeah, maybe this is
it's a redemption story now.
Yeah,
yeah.
So anyway,
he's trying to rip you off.
So I told him I canceled. Sorry, I can't. And he got really mad. And he showed up at the apartment.
Yeah.
And he was like, "You told me.
Yeah.
You gave me your word. You're gonna pay me." And I was like, "I know I gave you my word, but I don't care.
Yeah.
Like I don't care about my word."
What did he?
He's like, and let this be a lesson to you. Not all words matter.
Yeah. What is this? The Crucible? I don't care about our word.
I travel around the world teaching people lessons like this.
Yeah. Fortunately, we're not in the 1800s, so my word
means nothing.
Means nothing. Yeah. So I'm like, I just don't care.
Yeah.
Did he challenge you to a duel after?
No, he was like, "Well, you'll be hearing from my fucking lawyers."
Yeah.
And then he stormed out of
for
there.
$300.
Yeah. Right. And now he's super famous.
Yeah. And we're gonna send this to him.
Yeah, I forgot to begin in the story. This guy's a very famous.
I mean, it really failed.
He's moderately successful.
Yeah, I mean, he was the main guy on a pretty big Hulu TV show.
Yeah, I mean, but Hulu,
yeah, Hulu with such little known shows as Handmaid's Tale. And, but anyway, I'm sure you don't watch TV. It's like capitalistic.
Yeah, I barely watch
propaganda.
It. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I think the last thing I saw was The White Lotus.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I was too busy helping people.
It's like that soup kitchen, very demanding.
Yeah. So I ripped him off, and that's that story.
But what happened? How does that end? He goes, okay.
No, he said you'll be hearing from my lawyers. Then he realized he had barely any legal recourse. You tell your lawyers this guy owes me $300. They'll say, do you have a contract? No. Yeah. And then it's $300. So sorry.
No,
it's
but
not
also
worth anybody's
it's like
time.
I don't think he.
But also, is it? I mean, how
lawyers.
Does he fit? Like, does he? What happens literally after you say I don't care and he goes, you'll be here? Like he just turns around and leaves?
Yeah, he stormed off.
He can't attack you. That's a fucking crime.
I think what happened, he stormed off, and then immediately George Clooney saw him and was like, "You'll be great in the show I'm producing."
Yeah,
and we forgot all about it.
Yeah,
it's like this one guy owes me $300.
One day I'd like to give him. Like in my head, I was like, I wish I'd get successful and then send him the money. But the problem is he's gotten way more successful.
It doesn't matter.
So now I got to be like, can you actually send me more money?
Hey, man, can I have more money from you?
I can't send him the check when he's doing so much better than me.
Right. You can.
Oh, out of like.
Do you never have that? We have people do a show, and then it's like they're on television and have their own TV show, and it's like, hey, what's your Venmo? We're gonna send you $20.
Well, yeah.
Then you're like, yeah. I mean, let
me rephrase.
It's more about
could
the symbol.
Do that. I'm not going to.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give money to someone who's
wealthy.
Yeah,
when you're who's in a much better position.
What if you?
I guess the point is, I don't believe in abstract words or symbolism.
What if you book an acting gig and he's your co-star?
He's my co-star.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully the part involves tension because we could really channel that very easily.
Yeah. I'm writing this new screenplay called $300.
Yeah.
I think I know. Who
it's a movie he wrote about a guy.
It's about the pettiest argument ever.
It's called "Never Trusted You Again."
Right.
It's like Dave Abbott and Danny DeVito in.
What's a little silly that he took the word of a Jew involving a real estate thing.
Right. Right.
I did not make Jews look good for him. I was like,
really?
Well, I was like, I don't care about my word.
Yeah.
Now let me go poison this well.
Right. You were a cartoon villain for that moment.
But but he's doing great. And Chris, if you're watching this, which would involve, I don't know how that would be possible.
He's our Patreon.
Just say his name. We can literally just tag him if you want us to.
Tag him?
Yeah, just send it to him on Instagram.
All right. Well, Chris Abbott, if you're watching this, I apologize. Even though it seems like,
he's our one Patreon subscriber.
He was being a little shitty. So on one hand, so you agreed to do something, but it doesn't really make sense. He'd already moved out of the fucking apartment, and then the guy's like, well, if you're gonna, he'd already agreed to move out of the apartment.
There's also no way I have a feeling he probably wouldn't even remember this.
Really?
I don't know. Well, I guess.
And then we cut to, and it's his bedroom, and it's 30 pictures of you, and like blood, and
voodoo dolls.
Candles. Yeah.
Great actor though, really good.
Yeah.
What else was he in? I mean, he's been in a bunch of stuff. He's in a bunch of movies. He's really great.
All right, so we're done.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Cool. All right.
Well, it was a lot of fun.
Thank you. Thanks for coming out all the way to Bushwick.
Don't give away our location.
They know.
Yeah.
I post the address.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks to our guest Raanan. Where can they follow you?
On Instagram, Raanan Comedy, Raanan Comedy, and subscribe to. I got my podcast, Joe and Raanan Talk Movies, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm going to be shooting a special coming out in the fall, winter. So Raanan Hershberg.
Oh, nice. Audio or video?
Video. Special,
oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Release it on YouTube.
Hell yeah!
All right, yeah, that's what everyone's doing now. It gets more hits than the Comedy Central ones.
Straight white man's Netflix.
Yeah,
yeah, I know. It's kind of weird. I see like the Comedy Central specials that come out, and it's like 180K or something like that, and then like some rando that Comedy Central rejected gets like 1 million.
I know.
And I'm like, that's fucking dope. Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully, people will watch it.
White man's Netflix. Right. Nice.
All right. Follow me at Daniel Lewis Veza.
At Santiago is dead. Thank you guys. Have a good one.